Welcome, my name's Gordon Whiffen. I'm the Commercial Manager of Philips Lighting here in New Zealand, and it's my pleasure, along with the Philips team and our partners, to welcome you here.
It's a pleasure for me to be here and share with you some experiences we have in Europe about how lighting controls can really help municipalities and cities to increase their safety, to increase their branding by new lighting, and at the same time save energy and save maintenance costs.
There's a lot of technology here today for people to have a look at and have a play with a little bit later and to capture some demonstrations. And I'm sure that most of you, or many of you here, have been assailed by lighting technology providers over the last year or two or three with new technologies for road and urban lighting. But an issue that crops up in the real world is how do we practically apply these sorts of technologies in New Zealand projects, and how do we implement in a real world context? What I'm going to speak about is performance-based procurement and project management in road lighting, how to capture the value from this improved technology.
The critical thing here is that councils are under pressure to reduce the rates take, and I think that's really where we're coming from a financing point of view, is to say how can we increase the availability of light at minimal or reduced cost to the ratepayer. And that's what we've been looking at and exploring with finance partners.
Street lighting is over 30% of our emissions, and that's quite typical for a city, that the emissions will be somewhere between 30 to 40%. So if you want to actually achieve those targets, you have to work on street lighting. There were two products that we've used specifically with the street lighting with Philips products. The first one is the Cosmopolis lights, and in this case we actually were a follower, but we heard about a great project being done in the Coromandel, and Philips Lighting came and talked to our CEO and said, look, we've got this fantastic new luminaire, it's about a 23 to 25% energy savings, we think that EcoCity should be interested in installing it. You get better light quality, but you get the energy savings that came with it. Our CEO is a very smart businessman and said, yep, we'd like to have a look at this, and he got a small team together and we looked at the business case. When would be the appropriate time to use this technology? How could we afford it economically as well? What we came up with was basically if there was a new development area that had no street lighting, and new street lighting was having to be designed and installed as part of a development, the other opportunity is through a CapEx replacement program where the streetlight poles are actually planned to be taken down anyway, and the street can be redesigned according to the luminaire technology that's going to be installed. And so that's where Waitakere actually started.
StarSense is about digital control of individual lights. What this means basically is each individual light has an individual address, like an IP address, like a computer, and we can ask each individual light to react differently. What that means is we put these light fittings individually into groups, and then we can handle them like that. So if you've got a major street, you might say, well, I'd like to dim this major street after midnight, dim it down a bit, save some energy. But with the individuality that's possible, you can differentiate. You might say, well, I'd like to dim the street, but I don't want to dim on this pedestrian crossing because I'd like to keep that full brightness, or I don't want to dim on this intersection. So you can make it up and you can plan your city exactly how you want to.
We're pretty well aware that councils don't like to be spending $2,000 each time they put up a new fixture. So the story with the LED solutions is that they're all very modular. If you chose to install a mini Iridium with a Cosmopolis system in it right at this point, we don't want you to have to change the whole fixture. So for all of the Iridium range, we have an upgrade package to LED, so that when you do choose to finally go to LED, you don't have to replace the fixture as well.
What we've got here is a range called City Soul, and you can probably see what we're trying to deliver to cities here is some beautiful soft warm colour, while still maintaining high output. So ensuring that you meet the required light levels to make it a safe environment like we've heard about today, but also giving you the quality of light and the colour that is going to enhance the inner city space area that you're illuminating, and therefore encourage the people of the city and towns to come and utilise that area. And this family of luminaires will do that for you.
When you turn the luminaire off during the day, the clear polycarbonate lens that you can see there almost makes the luminaire look transparent. So you don't have any ugly piece of metal sitting up on a pole, wrecking the looks.